Welcome back to FryMinis. I'm Eric, and today we're going to review Gargantuan Tiamat. Okay, before we get started, I want to do a shout out to my patrons. Just $5 a month, and you can join Spud Club. You get some PDFs, all sorts of really cool content, and just come hang out with us. And for our existing patrons, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so this version of Tiamat has been out for a little while now, so this review isn't hot off the presses, but I do want to talk about the recently announced unpainted version of Tiamat, and we'll do that at the end. So this is a hyper premium mini. Base price, you're gonna get this for $400. Now right now, if you go to dndmini.com, they've got like a 5% surcharge for COVID stuff. When I got this one, I ordered it from Miniature Market. It was $320. It was a pre-order though, so you're probably gonna pay somewhere around $350 to $400 real world for it. If you want to see the unboxing, we did a whole live stream on it. I've got a link in the description. Check it out. You can see the mountain of styrofoam it's stored in. It's actually very well protected and well packaged. A lot of times bigger minis can just be kind of tied on with those little wire strings, you know. This is well padded. So she weighs a ton. Check out all these really great details. The heads in particular, that's where we're really going to stand out. The detail on here is fantastic. You know, normally I like to do our really nice kind of spin around videos, and I honestly, I pride myself on how those look. But this mini is way too big to go in my little setup where I do my photos and videos. So I got creative, and we got some footage outside. I tried sitting her in a tree. I've got a tree that kind of branches, but she was too big for that. So we ended up putting her on top of our AC unit in the backyard. It's definitely not my most professional setup, but check this out. We've got some nice spin around shots, and I also have some footage comparing her to other similar kind of ballpark minis. So I hope that helps out a little bit. So before we wait too long, I want to get to the actual rating. We have 3 buckets: paint, sculpt, and fun. Each of those can be worth up to 5 points, and then we take those points and turn those into an overall star rating. A 3 out of 5. A 3 is what I expect for a WizKids mini. Like, this is a 3 means this is average. This is what I'm not surprised, I'm not impressed, I'm not disappointed. It's medium. A 4 and a 2 means I'm either a little impressed or a little disappointed. This is above average, below average. And then a 1 and 5 either mean it's virtually perfect or awful. It's rare typically to get either one of those. I like to have kind of that middle of the road, so we have like a realistic expectation here. So let's take a look. So our paint job, we're going to start us off with a 4 out of 5. The heads are excellent. If all we were looking at were the heads would be a 5. They're virtually flawless. But the rest of the body is so basic, and I get we're looking at the heads as our focus point, but the gradient on the wings where we go from like red to black, like that's a good smooth. But this dry brushing is just not great. It's not awful. So if we were judging just the body, I'd probably give it a 3. But we're going to average those 2 pieces out into a 4. So still a very good score, but not perfect. Our sculpt, we're also going to do a 4 out of 5. This head, for almost the exact same reason. The heads are highly detailed. They're very intricate. They have pretty good poses, but the body, like, yeah, these wings are big, but they're also just kind of standing there. Yeah, she's got these big meaty hands, but they're mostly just sitting there. So I got to tell you, I think if we're doing just the body, again, we'd do a 3. If we're doing just the head, we're doing a 5. So we're going to meet in the middle and call this a 4 out of 5 for the sculpt. So this is the fun category, is kind of our flexible. Does it have presence? Do I just like it? Do I feel good about it? And we are a hard 5 on this. You put this down on the table and it's all anybody's going to talk about. You're going to interrupt your game by by bringing this out. I think it's really an incredibly fun mini, and because it's Tiamat, the queen of the dragons, that's why, to me at least, she justifies having this kind of special price point at $400. Now there are some other minis out there that are coming, including a Tarrasque, but like a Tarrasque is cool, but do I personally feel that a Tarrasque is like, oh, $400, let's do it? No, I don't. $400 Tiamat? Okay, I'm interested. It's just it's a special factor of what the mini is and what it represents in the game. So with a total of 13 points, that puts us at a 4-star mini. So this is still really good, but it's not perfect. And the next question is, should it be? For $400, should this be a 5-star mini? And yeah, I think it should be. So this is a good mini. I like it a lot. It's close. I think for me, it's close to being a 5-star mini, but it's not quite hitting it. Okay, I've got a couple quick points I want to also address with this. The wings, they fit in pretty well into their sockets, but they're made out of this different material. So usually we've got this kind of like rubbery material that's it can generally take a little drop on the ground or something like that. But the wings are made out of something that's far stiffer, and I assume it's just to prevent like droop, because they're pretty heavy and they're large and they sit out so far, which I understand. But I feel if I dropped these on like a tile floor, the wings would shatter, not just like crack or something, like a plate. Like it just. I think ultimately I'm okay with that, because 99% of the time this mini is going to sit on your shelf, right? It's going to be kind of like a centerpiece for your collection. So 99% of the time it's not going anywhere. You're not at risk of anything. It's just that one time when there's like that campaign ending boss fight where you're bringing her out. And that's when I would be a little worried, especially with it on the table with people who aren't you handling your mini. I have a little danger there. And the claws, I think those could break off pretty easily. And in fact, I chipped one. I bumped when I was filming this. I bumped it into something, and the little claw tip chipped off. And, I mean, it was easy to super glue it back on, but I think if it was made out of regular mini material, I don't think that would have happened. And the tail is a very tight fit. So if you need to get it on there, you can like heat gun it, and it'll soften it up, and you can cram it onto the connector port. But that could just, I've seen that complaint multiple times, so I think it's not any one mini is just misaligned. I think the creation of it was a little bit off. And also at $400, I think it would have been nice to include little breath effects to go in these, kind of like that new gold dragon with the swappable head. I mean, $400 is a lot of money to spend on something like this. And like, would I expect full swappable 5 heads on a $200 mini? No, but on $400, yeah. So ultimately, is the painted version of Gargantuan Tiamat worth $400? I'm going to say if you're a regular DM, no, probably not. If you're like a collector, like if you have walls of minis, yeah, I like forever. This is probably going to be the centerpiece of my entire collection, the biggest, most extravagant kind of thing. And that's neat. And again, because it's Tiamat, who's like one of the most important, most powerful creatures in the game, it's a different level mentally for me. But would I recommend everybody buy it? No, not not for $400. You can buy a lot of other things worth $400 versus a mini you will probably use at most once per campaign. Okay, and also, as soon as a mini is announced these days, one of the pre-painted WizKids minis, 1 second later, the first question is, oh, is there going to be an unpainted version of it? And so, of course, when we saw Tiamat, first question everybody had, is there going to be an unpainted version? Because like the mini is cool, it's huge, it's like massive. It'd be great. We could get an unpainted one. It could be way cheaper. It could be affordable. It could maybe be like $200, $100, something like that. I saw those numbers going around a lot. And shout out to Gallant Goblin. They have a review up of the unboxing of the unpainted version of it. You can go check it out. Theo and Grady are awesome if you don't already know, but check it out at Gallant Goblin. I'll have a link in the description too. $350 for the unpainted version of this. So the difference there, $50. The whole paint job is only worth $50. I don't understand that. I get that apparently the major cost for a mini is the actual physical material, not the paint job. I am very surprised by this. I did not expect the price point to be $350. I did a poll. We have over 500 responses. Is the unpainted version worth $350? Overwhelmingly, the answer was no. Y'all are not a fan of the price point for that. I don't think I've ever had a poll as one-sided. I think we're at like 97% of people say no, not worth it, out of over 500 responses. So, I mean, that's pretty significant. I don't think I would buy the Unpainted Tiamat for $350. There are so many really great alternative. Standout to me is Mal Drakkar from Reaper. There are tons of 3D printed versions. You know, I like to try to keep these videos positive and friendly and look on the bright side, but that doesn't work for me. Okay, so that was the unusual review of Gargantuan Tiamat Prepainted and thoughts on the upcoming Unpainted. Again, I've got links in the description for everything. If you want to support the channel, check us out, patreon.com/FryMinis. $5 a month. You get all sorts of cool stuff, including a painting contest that we have a different theme every single month. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.